Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan. Once again, and today we're doing another manga review. Today we're looking at Spy Family, volumes 6, or at least the second half of volume 6, and the first half of volume 7 of Spy Family. So this is the Scholars Mixer, or the Imperial Scholars Mixer. That's chapters 38 to 42, and this is written by Tatsuya Endo. This is published by Viz Media. This is a shonen, obviously, and the genres are historical fiction, spy thriller, and comedy. Mostly comedy with some spy stuff. But the setting is history, based, it's analogous to the Cold War, if that makes sense. It does have an adaptation. It's a pretty great one. It's really, really enjoyable to watch, but I prefer reading, so that's kind of where I am. I have watched the movie, though, and it's great. And the rating for this arc is a 4.5 out of 5. It's not necessarily the most exciting, the most interesting arc, but it succeeds very well at doing what it's supposed to do, which is flesh out Damien's character and develop the main story, which is that Lloyd will join up with Damien's dad in order to get information out of him, right? So that's kind of the first time that we really see any positive motion in terms of the overall plot line, which is pretty cool, because that's not really the point, but it's nice that we actually get through to doing some of the actual overarching plot line at some point in the story, right? It's kind of crazy that it took 6 issues, but it's broadly speaking not really a issue that I have personally, because that's not really why I'm reading Spy Family. I don't really care about Lloyd getting information. I care about all of the shenanigans that ensue when Lloyd tries to get information through the usage of his family, right? So, yeah, premise-wise, this is basically just about Damien. Damien wants to meet with his dad, and he sees an opportunity here when his father is coming down to the school to meet with his older brother, who is an Imperial scholar. All right, so basically he's a very good student. He's going to meet with the school's principal, and there's going to be a mixer to celebrate these students achieving these accolades. And Damien Desmond's dad is going to show up because he's supposed to, right? And so Damien wants to find a moment to do so, and Lloyd and Anya are trying to help him achieve that so that they can achieve their own goals, right? And it's pretty fun. I really enjoyed myself reading this. So plot-wise, the Imperial Scholars Mixer is going to start soon in the next couple days. Anya gave up on getting her 8 cell stars, but she knows that Desmond will probably get to meet his dad, right? And so this is important. But Anya doesn't really care that much. She just is upset that she is not going to get her cell stars. In a kind of storyline that's really not relevant to the Imperial Mixer stuff, Becky asks Anya if she wants to go shopping. Anya agrees, and they go and do this whole ass fashion show. And I think it's really cute and really enjoyable and fun, but it does feel a bit unnecessary to what the point of the arc is, but it is very enjoyable. It's a very hilarious look at children trying to be fashion forward, and I think it's really funny. It's kind of cute. They don't really buy anything fashion wise, clothes wise, but they do end up buying these overpriced keychains that they share with each other. And this is really important to Becky specifically, because this is the first time that she has a proper friend, not someone that tolerates her for being rich, or someone that doesn't like her for whatever reason, right? Because she's a bit stuck up because she's rich, right? So she's really happy that Anya did this with her. She's very excited about the whole thing. And Lloyd is a bit upset about this because those keychains were insanely expensive. They cost a lot. It was kind of ridiculous. But they were cute, and I understand Anya's impulse, so I get it. Lloyd sneaks into the school to do some recon, and while he's there, he figures out that Damien and his dad are going to be meeting, or there is a possibility for them to meet. It's actually unclear to Damien if his dad's going to see him or not, but he's hoping that he will, right? And so he engineers a whole ass interaction with Damien where he gets he basically handcrafts a copy of Anya's keychain. He acts like she lost it, and then he plants it in an area where Damien's going to be to force an interaction with Damien when his father is around, right? And so Damien's dad, Donovan, does show up. He apologizes to him about Anya punching Damien in the face, and Donovan completely opposite of how he looks, acts like it's no big deal. He's very genuine and very nice, and like, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Kids are going to be ridiculous. It is what it is, right? He realizes that Donovan is negatively affecting Damien in the way that he kind of plays off Damien's achievements as nothing, right? And so Lloyd gives a pep talk to Damien throughout this, and he does this in order to get more information out of Donovan. It kind of works, and Damien then is sort of almost praised by his father, and he really appreciates this. He's very happy about this because he's a very neglected kid. And then he starts going crazy. He tries to attempt to be a very, very amazing student. He just basically kills himself studying, and everyone around him realizes this, right? And so he studies so much that he actually ends up getting in trouble for it. And then his buddies, the two guys that are always with him, I can't remember their names, also end up getting in trouble to stay with him. Then the elegant guy, the old headmaster guy, realizes what's going on, and he understands that Damien needs to relax. And so he sends him off with this guy who we know from the light novel, actually, and he takes the three boys out with him to a picnic, and they have this crazy adventure, this crazy outdoors adventure that's very, very fun, very kind of I don't know, almost like Hatchet maybe, without the fact that he has to endure by himself. It's a pretty fun, ridiculous bit of a picnic there. And this gets Damien to relax, and he understands that he has to do some sort of relaxing while he's studying at some point, otherwise he's going to burn out, right? And then this kind of ends the main arc. Then we have a bit of a few different kind of moments here. So we have Bond and Lloyd that have a mission together. They go off into a lab to steal this kind of crazy formula, and then Yuri is sent over to destroy this dissenting reporter that's sending information out across the border through the mail system in order to disagree with the country, right? And Yuri actually ends up sympathizing with this guy because this guy is doing all he can in order to support his father, the same way that Yuri wants to support Yor, right? And so he understands what this guy is aiming for, but he can't respect that this guy is doing it against his country, right? And so he locks him up in jail, and he makes sure that his father gets a pension so that the guy is taken care of, which I really appreciate. I think it's interesting to see Yuri because this plays him off as not a villain or anything, but rather a good guy who just happens to be misaligned in his desire or in his need to do good, right? And it's just because he grew up in this country, right? And so it makes sense that he would be like this. And you can almost see him being kind of the opposite to Lloyd, where they're both trying their best using their skills, but they're on opposite ends just because that's where they're from. And I think I like this a lot. I think it's cool. Then the kids fight over some fancy macarons, which are these French cookies, and it's pretty funny. Overall, this was a pretty fun arc. I enjoyed myself reading this tremendously. I really like the development of Damien and his father's interactions and their character, and I enjoyed Lloyd showing up and finding a way to, basically start achieving his mission. However, the arc itself is really just 2 chapters. The rest of it feels kind of unnecessary. I feel like it could have been something else, or it could have been kind of just separate stories. And I understand kind of why this is all technically put into a single arc, and that's just because these are all tied up together time-wise, even if they're not necessarily together theme-wise, right? And so that's why they're an arc. But if you're looking at it from that sort of structure, it doesn't come off as like that thought out or that well done. But if you're looking at it from the fact that this is like just a comedy story, and it occasionally has, like hard plot points, then that makes more sense, right? So, your mileage may vary with this one, but I did enjoy myself, even if it's narratively not that satisfying, if that makes sense. So characters-wise, we get introduced to Donovan Desmond properly at this point, and he turns out to be odd. I'm pretty sure he's playing at being a good guy, but he's definitely like, an evil bastard. And we also get to see that Damien's lackeys are nice guys. They're not just like there for the sake of being like Draco Malfoy, Crabbe and Goyle type characters. They're there to actually be good people to Damien, and that they actually care about him and are friends with him for the right reasons, which I think is great. I really appreciate that. So in terms of world building, we learned that Eden Academy has a lot of traditions, and we see this party, and we get introduced to the SSS a bit more in terms of Yuri's work through them, but nothing too serious here. This is really not a story or an arc that focuses on developing the world or the plot all that much, even though it is the one where the most plot happens. It's just mostly about developing characters, and I think that's fine. Artwork and fan service wise, great artwork, not much fan service, really there's none at all, but if you're someone that likes fashion, you'll enjoy this for that sake. Overall, very fun. I really enjoyed the artwork here. I thought that the actual artwork for the fashion show was pretty fun. Let me see if I can show you a bit of it. It's really ridiculous, but it's really fun. I really enjoy this. And yeah, overall, good stuff. In terms of a rating, this is a 4.5 out of 5. Like I said, the arc is small, and there's a lot of chapters that don't really deal with the actual arc itself, but the enjoyment that I got out of this was pretty high. So overall, good stuff there. So yeah, that's really all there is to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching once again. See you guys later.